Your reaction to getting in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, God. After what we just went to this Nitschke luncheon. I think it brings it all into perspective when these icons, and they are icons, get up and, I'm sorry, about, maybe 20 or 30 of them speak, but, it's a dream come true. It's sort of a culmination. I said I've come sort of full circle from Youngstown, San Francisco, through my career in San Francisco, the ups and downs, the wins and losses, and the great players, and all the players that I had, playing for me out there. Bill Walsh, our great coaches. Then to come and be, be selected as one of the class of 2016, come back to Canton, 40 miles from our home, my home. It's almost like my life came full circle.
Mr. DeBartolo, fourth time you were eligible, was the wait worth it?
Yeah, it really was. I know that I have to be honest with you. I thought it was going to be, it was going to be a long haul. But I think once they put the contributor category in, it probably helped because you can't go up whether you're a general manager or whatever. A coach is different against these men like Orlando or Brett Favre or any of these great players. It's just tough. But the contributor category sort of opens it up some, and if you were good enough to fit into that category and your career was good enough, then you have a chance.
Mr. DeBartolo, what do you think that moment will be like tomorrow when you're on that stage and it's your daughter and the video that she's presented to officially put in? What do you think that moment will be like?
Pure. I can't use the word. It's going to be. I've been nervous, just like I was having my kids again. I think I'm more nervous now than I was before any of our Super Bowls. I'm sort of a wreck because when I inducted the players and Coach Walsh, and some of the talks I've given when we've opened up projects. It's easy to talk about somebody else, and it's easy to talk about a brick and mortar. And I won't be talking obviously about myself tomorrow, but I'll be talking about my life, the people that made my life so meaningful, my family, my parents, my great players, all of them. Not just the Hall of Famers, but everybody that contributed to me being here today, talking to you, gentlemen and ladies.
What is it about Youngstown in particular that molded you, and why is football so big?
I have people coming up from grade school and high school tomorrow. And I get with them all as much as I can, and I get back as much as I can. But I think anybody knows, and I know Stan and anybody that's from Youngstown knows it's the work ethic. It's the never say die attitude of the people in the Mahoning and Trumbull counties. We lost our steel mills. Everybody thought the town was going to just drop off the map, and it didn't do that. It picked itself up by its bootstraps, and new things, grew. We built a mall. There was another mall built by the Cafaro Company in Warren. The work ethic of the people, the different ethnic groups. My dad, I can speak for him. He had a work ethic that he taught us and taught everybody that worked for our company that was just unbelievable. He lived his business, and I think he instilled that in my sister and myself and the people that he surrounded himself with. It's just a never say die town.
Mr. DeBartolo, you had a chance when you owned the 49ers to move out there, to move the front office, to move the ownership group all out there, and you decided to stay in Youngstown. Is that the reason why?
Another thing is, and it was my wife and children. I mean, we raised our kids in Youngstown. They went to school there. Great place to raise kids. I mean, you know, my daughters turned out great. They have great families, and that has a lot to do with their upbringing in Youngstown. It's just a really great area.
You still wish you owned the 49ers?
No, you know, I really don't. You know, I've had opportunities over the last 16 years or so. There have been some teams that have been for sale that you know that I've heard from. I've heard from, you know, people in the league office. I honestly, you know what? Everything that I did, you do for a reason, and things happen for a reason. You know, Denise and Jed and their family, they're going to do a great job. Things are going to get really good out there. But you know, I wanted to spend time with my wife. I wanted to spend time with my kids. I have 3 grandsons now. I get to go to all their games. We travel. You know, we spend time out west together. And, you know, I've said this many times. When I inducted Joe Montana, I was still a little bit, you know, wary of, you know, being out of sports. And I said to him, I said, you know, how do you get that out of your system? And he said, Eddie, he said, seriously, put it in your rearview mirror and get on with your life.
Do you foresee, I'm sorry,
And that's what you did?
Hopefully. Hopefully.
do you foresee any time down the future getting back involved in the NFL?
No. You know, about 10 years ago, you know, I know the Glazers very well, much better now, but, you know, a group of us talked to them, you know, possibly about getting involved, but, you know, nothing ever happened, and they don't want to sell, but I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. We have a great development company and a management company, and I get to do what I want to do now.
How often do you make it back to Youngstown?
As much as I can. You know, I'm going to probably try and get back there after the game. I like to, you know, I like to go back because we've been getting together with all our 64 Mooney graduates after our 50-year reunion, and I've seen these guys now. They're all coming up. There's 3 or 4 or 5 buses coming up tomorrow to the induction. So it's going to be really exciting and nice.
You've heard about this party you're going to throw at Glenmore? Rumors of even like $1 million party?
You know what? All I can tell you is my youngest daughter, Nikki, planned the party. I know who's entertaining. I don't know anything else about what's going on. You know, she's using a wedding planner that she used for her wedding, so whatever happens. But like you know, like she said to me, you know, you only do this once in your life. You know, and might as well do it right.
Do you get to spend a lot of time in Youngstown?
Hi, and Art. Hi.
Can you go back? You got the 49ers, I think it was 75,
77.
77. And the first couple of years were really tough, and the Joe Thomas things. What was it like for you then? I mean, you remember?
Well, you know, part of my talk talks about that for a second, and you know, honestly, you know, I think the people in San Francisco probably wondered for those first couple of years, what the hell is he doing here? And you know, I was lucky enough to hire Bill in '79, and we put together a front office, a really good young. You know, very small front office with John and you know, Carmen Policy, and I think that's what it was. And I think then after that, San Francisco kind of opened their arms when we started to at least look decent.
Can you talk about what it means to you to have the players that were on your team here to celebrate with you this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you something. I had no idea how many of our players that played for me, even back as far as 1977, came in here. They came in on their own. I think somewhere like 200 and some of them, 250 of them. and you know, I'll see them tonight. But guys that you know, were not Hall of Famers, that were just, you know, really good players, and just it's just exciting. And you know, we have. We have our equipment managers coming. We have secretaries that have flown in. It's just it's humbling, and I'm so honored.
How did you make it about family? How did you make the organization about family?
I think it started again with the upbringing in Youngstown, and with the way my father you know, treated the people in the company, and the way we were close to everybody, and we cared about you know, their wives, the children. We cared about, you know, how they were living. We cared when they were sick, no matter if it was in Youngstown or any place else in the country where we had developments or projects. And I tried to bring that out to San Francisco, and you know, I probably did it before it became something that was you know, I know that owners are doing that or trying to do that, but you know, I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened, and all my players, seriously, they're like sons and brothers to me, and their families are like my own family.
The players are always amazing. You consider their wives' names, their kids' names. How did you do that?
You know, it was, you know, we had parties, we had Christmas parties, we had different occasions. You know, we sent when their wives had birthdays, when there were babies born. But you know, I got so close to everybody, and again, not just Joe Montana or Roger Craig or Jerry Rice, but Billy Ring and you know, Billy Romanowski. I'm just naming players. Randy Cross and his wife Patrice. I could go through, you know, dozens and dozens of players and wives, even children and coaches.